Luxury regrets. I think we all have at least one. Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do videos on luxury handbags, shoes, shopping, and occasionally travel. So if those are topics that interest you, please consider subscribing to my channel, click the notification button, and let's dive right into this video. Okay, so before we get started with this video, I just want to preface this by saying that if you have any of the items that I am about to talk about, this is no hate on those specific items. If you love them, great for you. They're just things that didn't really work out for me, and that happens to all of us. Something that works out for one person might not work out for the other person, and that's okay. The first item that I'm going to be talking about is a bag, and it's a bag from Chanel, and it's actually a bag that I really loved, but it just didn't work out for me, and it was my gold reissue. If you saw my video with my entire Chanel handbag collection, you might have seen that bag in that video, and I think I mentioned in that video that I had not used that bag at all, and I had had it for a year, and so I saw that as a sign that maybe this bag wasn't for me. And just for a little story time on this bag, I actually went into Chanel looking for a completely different bag. I was looking for a classic flap in beige Claire, and they didn't have it, of course. I just walked in hoping it would be there, and they didn't have one. But the essay did show me this gold bag, and I thought it was gorgeous. I loved the chain. I loved the aged calfskin. I thought it was a really standout bag. But I think my first mistake in this bag was, number one, it wasn't a bag that was ever on my radar or on my wish list. And I think for me, that was something that I have since learned to try to stick to my wish list. If something deviates very much off of my wish list and I had no idea that that bag existed, or it just wasn't a want for me, I really have to sit and think about it, think if it really works for me, my wardrobe, my lifestyle. And at the end of the day, this gold bag just didn't fit the bill. I do like gold bags, and I would like to add a gold bag in my collection again, but I think the main issue here was the size. It was a medium classic flap size, or I should say reissue, and it just wasn't a bag that I was taking out. And I think that when I do add a gold bag into my collection, I would prefer like a mini bag or a clutch, because it would be for me a bag that I want to take to events or out to dinner. Now, this next item was a complete impulse purchase. It's not something that I would have ever bought otherwise if I wasn't being tempted by an essay. But if you'll remember last year, fans of Chanel No. 5, they had the Chanel No. 5 Factory Collection to celebrate 100 years of Chanel No. 5. They released a lot of beauty products, and if you'll recall, they released a water bottle which people lost their freaking minds over. I have never seen people go so crazy over a glass water bottle. It retailed for $75. It's sold out, and I even saw them selling for $1,000 in the resale market, which was crazy. Now, if you were somebody that gave into the water bottle frenzy, please know I'm not hating on you. I get it. It happens. We all fall into frenzies like that. It was a cute water bottle, but I don't know, $1,000 was a little too much in my opinion. So anyway, the impulse purchase I made was this sparkling body gel. It smells like Chanel No. 5, which isn't really a scent that I usually go for in the past. So I don't know, I feel like I was like a little monkey getting like sucked in by the sparkles, because if I open it up and I pour some out, there is actual, I believe it's 24 karat gold. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what the essay told me. There's 24 karat gold sparkles in the gel. And I mean, I feel like if I were to put this on my body to have the gold sparkles everywhere, I would just be like cloyingly, overwhelmingly smelling like Chanel No. 5. It is very powerful and very nose sensitive. I'm gonna go wash my hands after this, but this was, I don't know why I bought this. It was like pure impulse, and definitely a regret. Okay, now that I have washed my hands, I am going to continue in the same vein of beauty and talk about another, I wouldn't say it was an impulse purchase because it's something that I had been thinking of buying for a long time, but it's definitely something that was so pretty, and that's why I bought it, just because it looked pretty, but it was not a practical purchase. And it was also a purchase that I got influenced by YouTube, other YouTube creators, and it is the Dior Advent Calendar. Now this calendar retailed for something like $500, I believe, and if you open it up, it is so pretty. I honestly think I bought it just for this artwork because it is insanely gorgeous. And every year they have the most beautiful artwork in their advent calendars. Each day is like a little pop open here and you get a different product. And it was a fun thing to have, definitely, but I honestly have not used all of the products. I think I rationalized with myself that I would, and I would make myself use all of them. But here we are 6 months later and I've only used a couple. So I think I would have been better off just buying the full-size products over the advent calendar. Now, if you love advent calendars, if you like everything that's in an advent calendar or the majority of what's in an advent calendar, then I say, you know, go for it. If you weigh the cost though, advent calendars might not always be the best deal, but it is something fun to have over the holidays. I don't know that I would purchase another one just because of the price tag and the fact that I haven't used so many items. So I wouldn't say it's a total regret, but it's probably not a repeat. Now this next item is not necessarily a regret, but it's probably, I should have got this in a different color purchase, and it is these gorgeous pink shoes from Chanel. I don't know, during the pandemic, I was like in this pink kick. I think everybody was like wearing neutrals and things like that, and we were all wearing sweats, and I, after a while, just really wanted like something girly and beautiful, and I love these shoes. I'm not going to sell them. I'm not going to give them away or anything like that. I'm definitely going to try to wear them more, but I don't know, I think maybe I should have really like reflected on my style and the colors that I tend to gravitate towards wearing, because I have only worn these once and I really had to force myself to wear them. I had it in my mind that I bought these shoes and I haven't worn them and I really wanted to, and so I had to kind of think of an outfit, create an outfit around these shoes just so that I could go out and wear them. And because of that, I don't think that I'm really going to get the cost per wear out of these shoes. But, you know, truth be told, I absolutely adore them. Now they are satin, so they are delicate. And like I said, I wore them once and they already have some scuffs on the side. These came in gray, burgundy, black, and I think blue. And so sometimes I wonder if I would have been better off getting the black or the gray, but I don't know. They're so pretty. They're unique. I think they are shoes that I will keep for the long run and hopefully get more use out of in the future. But you know, that's definitely something that you need to think about when you are buying such expensive items, particularly shoes. Shoes tend to not have the same longevity as bags. And so for me, I think when it comes to shoes, sometimes it does pay off to be a little more practical in your purchases. So this next bag is a bag from a brand called Mansur Gavriel. It's a brand that I was really interested in a couple of years ago because they had these gorgeous bucket bags. Now I do occasionally still see these bucket bags in store and I admire them, but I've learned that these are admire from afar kind of bags for me because I don't really like the bucket bag style. For me, I just don't like having something open at the top, especially if I'm wearing it crossbody and I'm just walking around in a city. It doesn't really feel secure to me. I know some people love bucket bags, so believe me when I say this is no hate against bucket bags, it's just my personal preference. So knowing that I was really into this brand, I wanted to try a bag from them, and I found this really gorgeous circle bag in this beautiful burgundy color. It retailed for around $1,000, I believe. I don't remember the exact price, and I was looking on their website and I actually don't see these on there anymore, so I'm wondering if they have since been discontinued. But this was a bag that I saw actually Chase Amy had in blue, and I thought it was so cute, and so I decided to add it to my collection because one of the department stores was having a sale and I got about $300 off of this bag. Now something really funny happened when I bought this bag. The next day I went to check on the order to see if it had shipped yet or not, and it said canceled, which I thought was really weird. So I tried to buy it, but it was sold out. And I called customer service, explained that I had ordered the bag, and for some reason it now showed as canceled. On their end, it said that I had been the one to cancel the order, which I hadn't, so I don't know what happened there. Unfortunately, though, they weren't able to help me as they said the bag was sold out. Well, the next day, the sale ended, and what do you know? The bag was back in stock. So I contacted customer service again. I was a little upset, and I said, you know, I had ordered this bag, blah, 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 the whole spiel. And they ended up sending me the bag at the sale price, which was great. Unfortunately, when I opened the bag, that bag had scratches everywhere. If I have a photo, I'll throw it up on the screen, but it came in horrible condition and it made me a little worried about the bag itself. I could have sent in for a replacement, but this particular leather was vegetable dyed. Now, I know a lot of leathers are vegetable dyed, but with all the scratches and with all the discoloration that I saw in this bag, it didn't really make me want to get a replacement because I was worried for the longevity of the bag, and I ended up just returning it. So that was a fail for me. And finally, the last bag was also a Chanel bag. This bag in particular was a bag that my SA at the time reserved for me. She just went ahead and reserved it because she knew that I was looking for a bag in a similar color. And one day she called me up and she said, "Hi Laura, I have a bag that I reserved for you. It is the 21A caramel cocoa top handle." Now, I had been admiring, like everybody else, the caramel color from 21P, and I had been looking for it in a mini rectangle size or even a classic flap size, and I wasn't really in the market for a cocoa top handle, but I decided to go into the store and see it in person, and I did like it. 21A brown is different from the 21P brown. That one had a more kind of terracotta brown undertone, whereas the 21A would be, I think, best described as like a pumpkin spice. Now, in person, the color was gorgeous. I could absolutely picture that bag in like a fall photo shoot with like all of the red and orange leaves and like a really cute camel or black coat. I think it would look absolutely gorgeous for the fall. But I knew when I saw it, it was not the bag for me. Number one, it was a different style of bag than what I had originally wanted. And number two, it was a different shade. Now, if you have this shade of brown, which it also came in the classic flap, and it was in caviar, which was a definite plus because 21P and I think it's now 22S, they're both in lambskin. So that was a definite pro of 21A. But again, I really kind of thought about that gold bag and it wasn't what I had originally wanted. Do I ever want to add a cocoa top handle? I think I do. I've seen it in white with gold hardware and I think that's my favorite combination. 22P also had this really, really gorgeous blue that I absolutely loved. But that one, I wasn't sure because it was blue, it was a color. I tend to gravitate towards more neutral bags. And so I was a little bit worried of having a repeat of other bags where I bought a color that I loved, but it just didn't really suit my wardrobe or lifestyle. And so that is definitely a lesson I took away with me. And I think there's times that we should really learn to admire things from afar. We can think something is completely gorgeous, but if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Stick to your wish lists. Think about your lifestyle and your wardrobe. Think about how you would wear these items, how much you would actually use them. If you are not 100% sure in the store, see if they can hold the bag for you for a little bit. Step away, maybe go have lunch, pop into a few other stores and really think about it. If you're still thinking about that bag, then maybe that's a sign that you should take it home. And if not, it's a sign that you should just leave it. So guys, that's it for this video of my luxury regrets, mistakes, and lessons learned. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And I have some exciting content coming later this month, so I hope you will stick around and I will see you in the next one. Bye!